All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Unity in the Community. I'm your host, Pastor James Jackson. It is my absolute privilege to be with you on this beautiful afternoon in the capital city. And although it is cold and crisp, it is a beautiful day. And I give God thanks for it. On my way in, I saw a few people on the street. A lot of people live on the streets, homeless folks living in Indianapolis. And praying that we can solve that problem totally. But a lot of people living on the streets all over town, actually. But it's a beautiful day, and I'm grateful. Hope that you enjoyed your Thanksgiving holiday with your family. And this is the last day of November, y'all. Tomorrow, the Lord willing, we will be in the last month of 2024. December begins tomorrow. Did you get your shopping in? Black Friday was on yesterday. I went to the Whole Foods store to get me a few things, and and the traffic was absolutely crazy. I was trying to get my sound for the stream, y'all. So my mind's gonna help me out here. She is so wonderful. Um, so traffic was just really incredible out on the north side of Indianapolis. Just trying to get through traffic was very difficult, and a strip that is normally just about 20-25 minutes for me was about 40 minutes out north on 82nd, 86th Street, Allisonville Road, out that way. But I wasn't in any rush, so I just took my time in traffic. I think that's what you have to do. And um, you have to kind of just take your time there and make your way. So, anyway, 317-972-3008. 317-972-3008. Again, that's 317-972-3008. We'd love to have you as part of the show on today. We're going to be talking about increasing Black wealth in Indianapolis on today. And I think that's just something great to talk about as we are moving into the holidays. Don't spend all of your money and making sure that you are preparing for the future. This special Thanksgiving edition of Unity in the Community here on AM 1310 95.1 FM, Indy's Inspiration Station. Also, want to encourage you to check out the Community Connection Monday through Friday with Tina Cosby, 1 to 3 p.m. News you can use. Wonderful guests that come on with all kinds of information to help you and your family. You can get connected to resources by listening to the Community Connection each and every day. And that's one of the wonderful things about it. There are all kinds of folks that come on that show who have information. They're disseminating information that can help you and your family and your children. So tune in Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. And then, of course, on Saturdays from 12 to 1, we're here to talk about different things that are happening in our community. And from time to time, I bring guests on to share things with you that can help you and your family. So I want to pray for you as we move into the show. Father, we thank you for this time of fellowship. Thank you for all those who are listening and watching. We give you the praise. We are grateful and thankful on today. We thank you for Thanksgiving. We give thanks every day, but especially this week that we emphasize giving of thanks. And while we understand the true meaning of Thanksgiving and where it emanated from as a holiday in America, moreover that, we give you praise. We thank you for life, health, strength. We thank you for all that you have done, all that you have promised to do. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Well, what are you thankful for? I want to give you an opportunity to be a part of the show on today. For those of you who are listening at home, in your car, wherever you are, what are you thankful for on today? 317-972-3008. 317-972-3008. You might be stuck in traffic anyway, because there's still a lot of shopping that's going on right now around town, depending on where you are. The traffic is probably heavy, and of course, there's still a lot of construction work going on 465 and different parts of the interstate. And so they're doing a good job out there, though, I think, with what they're doing with the roads. And so I am very, very happy about that. Some of the things that I've seen, some of the changes that have been made. I've lived in Indianapolis since I was 11 years old. And I can remember when 465, the interstate around Indianapolis, was a place that people could go if they wanted some rest and relaxation. They could just drive around there, and there just wasn't much traffic. But now it's probably not a place you want to go if you want to get some rest and relaxation and let off some stress, because it might add to it because there's so much more traffic. Indianapolis is quite a city that's growing, at least traffic wise. And I think it's going to continue to grow over the next few years. A lot of businesses talking about moving into Indianapolis or in close proximity to our city. There's a lot of people who move into some of these other places like Carmel, Zionsville, McCordsville's up and coming out that way. Lots of people, black folks moving into McCordsville now, building homes. That area is expanding, and so a lot of folks live outside of Indianapolis and then drive into work. So it's just busy. And I want to know on this afternoon, what is it that you're thankful for? And if you're streaming, you can indicate that in the comments to tell me what you are thankful for. I am thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my church family. I am thankful for being able to be here to share with you on today. And I'm just thankful that I am alive, have the use and activity of all of my bodily functions. And it is just such a blessing. For those of you who, if you wake up and you don't have a pain in your body, that's something to be thankful for. And if you can see, hear, touch, taste, smell, feel all those wonderful things, that is something to be thankful for. So I want to know from you, 317-972-3008, 317-972-3008, on this special edition of Unity in the Community. What are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? And I am sure that you have something to be thankful for, and you can share it with our listening audience, the folks who are watching on the stream. We are quadcasting today. We're doing this. Well, actually, it's probably a little bit more than that. We've got two frequencies on the radio, AM 1310 95.1, and then three different platforms on social media, um, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, where we are streaming on today. So hopefully you're either watching, listening, or both. 317-972-3008. What are you thankful for on today? Lots going on across the nation, of course, as our nation begins to prepare to put a new president in, and that transition of power that's going to take place in January. All of that's going to be taking place. So, just a whole lot going on in our nation and all around the world. I am thankful. I am thankful that we live in the United States of America. I'm grateful for this country that we are living in. I want to start a series of talks about increasing Black wealth in Indianapolis. Of course, we'd like to see that across the nation, but particularly in the city of Indianapolis, to see Black wealth on the rise. And that's something that a lot of times you don't see. You don't see or hear about too often, a legacy of wealth in Black families. But even if you're single female head of household, it is possible to start building a legacy of wealth in your household and for your children. Of course, we have to look at the reality of where we are and to deal with that. So even if you're single female or single male, we do have some single dads out there, but the overwhelming majority is single females. You can still build wealth, and there's different ways that you can do that. not just with buying a home. Certainly, that's a good way to do it. But there are also other ways to stream income. I think we're living in a time um, where there's so much opportunity to have new streams of income coming in if you are willing to really, really get out there and work really, really hard. And a lot of you do. And then to find people to help you and to coach you so that you have your energies focused in the right direction, because a lot of times we can be spending time doing things that we're not particularly gifted at, and then you won't see growth in that area. So it's very, very important to find out your gifts. What is it that you do well? What is it that you love to do? And then be able to do that full time. And there are people who are making six figures online. You've got folks on YouTube. You've got folks on some of these other platforms, the school, these communities that are developing now, where people are sharing their knowledge and they are making a lot of money that is a blessing to their family. So we want to see Black wealth increase, and I am certainly interested in your ideas as well as we address this very, very important issue of increasing Black wealth in Indianapolis and certainly across the United States of America. Currently, national data highlights that median Black household wealth is about $24,000 compared to 189,000 for white households, which indicates that Black wealth is only about 12.7% of white wealth on average. These are things we need to talk about because I think that people talk about what they care about. I think that people talk about what's important to them. And the more we talk about it, then we start thinking about how can we solve the problem? How can we begin to level out the playing field, if you will, when you start looking at that? And you see that currently, according to some data that's out there, 12.7% of white wealth, that's where Black wealth is today. So while Indianapolis specific data is not readily available, and that's something that I hope we'll be able to see, I hope that we'll be able to get after that. And there's some folks who I think will be working on that. And I'm looking forward to working with some folks on that over the next several weeks, several months, and several years to get that data and to pull that data together so that we can see Black families increasing in wealth. I want to know your thoughts on this. 317-972-3008. Get your ideas. 317-972-3008. How we can see Black wealth increase in the city of Indianapolis and across the United States of America. You know, that's really, really important because a lot of times what happens is every generation has to start over, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be where every generation has to start over, but our children coming after us and their children coming after them and their children coming after them would have wealth to work with. And sometimes people don't even think on those lines. You've heard people say, well, I'm not going to leave my children anything. I'm not going to leave my family anything. But the scripture says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children's children. So that's something that God expects for us to do. That should be on our minds. How can we leave something for the generation coming behind us so that they don't have to start over again? And that's something that we need to think about. If that's on our minds and we talk about it and we share ideas, and not to the extent where you see somebody, you see Black people who are excelling, who are doing really well, and then don't share the information with other Black people or other Black families. I think there are some organizations out there that are sharing that information, that are trying to get that information out there. And we want to make sure that we're working together. We want to make sure that we're working with one another so that everybody's wealth can increase incrementally. We got Larry on the line. Larry, welcome to the program. Yeah.
opioid crime bill and other garbage that's not going to increase your wealth if you want wealth. But we need to concentrate on money. I mean, everywhere you look around, we are always talking about we need to get our freedom first, or freedom, and going like Al Sharpton, going to Washington to talk about the struggle's not over. Well, if the struggle's over, he don't have no more job, right? People need to understand that America is our only hope here on earth, other than Jesus Christ. That's the first hope that you can have. It's through the Holy Ghost, which will strengthen you.
Mhm.
Whatever's going on. But first of all, we need to get off of the old culture, man, and talking about you can put through and activities and stuff. Jack, we are the only people in this country who came here without any crime. When we came here, we were totally innocent in this country and blessed to progress in this country. You know, from the time we were released as slaves, we had increased our literacy rate by 80%, and we had increased our economic standing by 80% by the time it was 1940. So people need to look at the statistics and stop talking about all the civil rights actions and stuff, because Gandhi done the same thing in India. If you look into it, Master Jackson, he got so many people slaughtered in India because they tried to change the caste system, which has been in effect for thousands of years. And he got all those people slaughtered. Just like we got our people hung here in the South. None of that was going on until the Civil Rights Act came and communism entered into our community and took it over. So, you know, nobody is going to give you anything. You know, I've been in business for 45 years, Pastor Jackson.
Mhm.
The main thing about business is you have to have something to offer. You have to be able to produce it at a certain cost, and you have to make a profit. That's what business is about. If you don't have anything to offer, you might as well go and work for somebody, because business is not something to play with. Most people conceive it as a plaything. It's not, because when my dad told me there's no favors in business, Larry. There's only mutual relationship. And that's true. I find that true to today. But in any case, we need to stop talking about all the garbage that's going on and all the politicians and stuff, because they don't care about us. I mean, we have to care about ourselves, whatever catalyst that they create, so that we can thrive, which is what's getting ready to happen now. We need to think about thriving in that catalyst and making our own, like you said, develop whatever wealth that you want to talk about. And when you talk about wealth, it's not the jewels, it's the actual real estate, or either one thing you can have and your mind trusts you that. That's your wealth. Not
Yeah.
a bunch of flashy cars and stuff. That's all right, but it's frozen assets.
You know, Larry, I like what you're saying there. Thomas Jefferson, Monticello, he bought, of course, what how he did it was was questionable. He did it through the federal government and using government funds, but um, that's how he got Monticello, and there's just thousands of acres that belong to him, and of course, that's passed down in his family, and a lot of families did that, particularly white families across the United States of America, and of course, the free labor from black slaves and indigenous people.
I mean, you know what?
Hmm.
People, because we were brought to this country, even if it was in bondage, if we had stayed in Africa, we would have been slaves to other Africans. So that's their custom. Or we would have been human sacrifices. So when we came here, that was the Lord sparing our existence so that we could come and be friends and be taken, not taken care of, but be afforded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I don't agree totally with that, but I think in Africa, if black folks were together there, then it would have been a different way. Um,
Right now, it's our tribalism. You know, I was reading an article in 1927 Atlanta that talked about how the black people had reverted to their tribalism. when they came out of bondage. That means every man for himself, no family, no nothing. So that's what destroyed us. In the end, it's destroying us now in the end. So we not have to think about so much the village concept, but the concept of self-control and acquiring stuff so that we can help each other with the access that we have.
Yeah.
Forced to under segregation.
Yeah. The concept of community is really beginning to trend. You're starting to hear a lot more about community and building community. And I hope that's something that we will continue to do and work together. Larry, thank you always for your call and comment. We appreciate it. We've got to go to break. Talking about increasing Black wealth, y'all. And what people talk about is what they care about. And I hope that you are thinking about it on this afternoon. I want to hear what you have to say about it. 317-972-3008. Again, that's 317-972-3008. We'll be back after these messages.
We're well into the weekend, and I hope that your plans are to enjoy yourself and find some time to enjoy your loved ones. And
All
make
right.
sure that you join me each evening next week for the hottest inspirational broadcast of the nation. It's the Nightly Spirit with your girl, Darlene. On Praise AM 1310, 95.1 FM, Indy's Inspiration Station.
Shh. You hear that? That silence? You could have used that to promote your business. Get your message heard. Text business to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
The new Eskenazi Health Thomas and Arlene Grandy campus is now open at the corner of East 38th Street and North Arlington Avenue. We look forward to welcoming the community to a space that is for more than just healthcare, but a place to celebrate the neighborhood, enjoy public art, and provide access to a wide range of services and resources to support your well-being. Appointments are available by calling 317-880-7666 or learn more at eskenazihealth.edu.
The 90s called. They said the Gordita Supreme is so back in the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's all looking fresh to death with the pillowy 90s Gordita Supreme alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stacked taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and medium drink. All for just $7. It's her wallet's favorite cheesy crunchy combo here for a limited time. Grab yours and relive the decades only at Taco Bell. Participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for price and participation, which varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Granny's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. Car Care for the extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if any problems come up. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Sounds like Ox Car Care has got our back.
We don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them direct with no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Remember, they handle our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call, honey. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair this holiday. Oh, we can't wait for Granny's sweet potato pie.
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-204-0255. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-204-0255. 800-204-0255. Or oxcarcare.com.
Join the Madam Walker Legacy Center for an annual holiday tradition music lovers can't miss. A holiday soul review on Saturday, December 7th. Tickets are as low as $19, and a holiday soul review promises a night of entertainment that will leave you uplifted and ready for the season with captivating performances by Jay Soul, Forecast, Men in the Fire, and Rodney Step Experience with special guests. Buy tickets at the box office, 617 Indiana Avenue from noon to 5 p.m. on Wednesdays through Fridays or online at MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com.
Monday night on TV1. It's an all-new episode of the gripping true crime series Payback. A lot of people want to get even. Get ready for the most real,
A 22-year-old man laying in a pool of blood. This might be a retaliation.
most raw,
He's been shot at the back of the head. We might have a payback.
Most ruthless revenge stories yet.
You know, you point that gun at me, you better kill me.
Payback. All new. Monday night starting at 10 on TV1.
All right, good afternoon again. Good to have you all here with me. Our topic for today is increasing Black wealth in Indianapolis and across America, but particularly right here in the city of Indianapolis. I want to encourage you to Google and download a document called the Indianapolis Thrive Plan. It's been out for a while. I'm not sure if it has been adjusted or changed or revised, but if you Google that, the Indianapolis Thrive plan, you will be able to go in there and read and look and see the different ethnic groups in there and who's number one, who's number two, three, four, and so on. And when I read that a few years ago and saw that as Black folks, we were last, and it's just really, really concerning to me. And then, of course, asking myself the question and others, what can we do? What can we do to climb up to number one, to be out front? I think number one should be the goal, even if we didn't get to number one, although I think we can. But what do we need to do to increase our status? And so download that and start thinking about it. And then ask yourself that question. What can I do? What can my family do? Who can I partner with? What can I do in coalescing with others to help change these numbers? It's so important. It's so important that we work together to be able to create change. I want to hear your thoughts. 317-972-3008, 317-972-3008, about how we can increase Black wealth in Indianapolis. Now, you might have some answers to that. You might have some answers to that. I'm interested, and I'm going to be taking notes. And of course, going back and listening to this broadcast, and then taking your notes to some folks that I hope to be interacting with to see what we can do about increasing Black wealth in the city of Indianapolis. 317-972-3008. Currently, according to some numbers, some reporting, 12.7% of white wealth on average is where we are. And those are low numbers and should be unacceptable to all of us. You know, I'm glad that I invested a few years ago in cryptocurrency. And just over the last few weeks, I have seen my cryptocurrency assets, those are considered assets, I have seen them double. And that is just so exciting when I pulled it up on Coinbase. If you're not familiar with Coinbase, that's one of the areas where you can invest in. And there are just a lot of those different kind of apps that you can use. Coinbase is a really good one. They use Plaid for security, and I haven't had any problems to date. Thank God for that. But I saw my investments double in cryptocurrency assets. And I think in the years to come, what we're going to be able to do is buy and sell goods using cryptocurrency. And there are some businesses out there now who will take cryptocurrency in exchange for goods. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that headed into the future. So you might say, well, that's of the devil, or I don't want to do that. Well, you know, we live in America, we live in this world, and things are changing all of the time. And it used to be the medium of exchange was cattle and grapes and olive oil and things like that, where people used to barter. So those kinds of things are always changing. 317-972-3008, 317-972-3008. Not only that, but there are affiliate programs out there. Did you know that Amazon has an affiliate program? Where you can be an affiliate for Amazon. You probably buy a lot of stuff from them anyway. You got stuff around the house you probably haven't even opened up yet. And you can be an affiliate for Amazon. Turn that camera on and you can earn money by talking about and promoting their products. And when someone buys their products, then you get paid. So those are all these different ways of making money. Even if you have a job outside the home and you want a part-time job, something on the side, this is something you can do. For those of you who are Uber and Lyft and rideshare, things are changing. Keep your eye on California. They've got Waymos out there now, and other companies going to jump in on that. Of course, Tesla, I expect to see them jump in on that, where Waymo does not have a driver. There's autonomous vehicles out there moving around. And so those jobs in the future are going to be gone. So you want to be thinking about that, where people can order themselves a ride and there's no driver. How about that? That is actually happening in California as we speak. And some of you all who have been to California perhaps have experienced that, where you get in and there's no driver there. And in the future, Lord willing, they'll have entertainment cars, they'll have sleeper cars, they'll have just all different kinds, game cars. So when you're making your commute, there's no driver there. You just get in and you can have breakfast and you can play games or you can do business while you're on your way to where you want to go. And that is the future, y'all. And actually, in some places, the future is now. Going to the phones, Emotep, welcome to the program. Good afternoon. I did.
Street level, I used to keep entrepreneur magazines, upscale magazines, and I helped start investment clubs back then.
Mhm.
Most guys who were doing things on the street that we didn't like to doing it, as far as from a silver point, from a social point of view, to help them invest their money. So if something happened to them, or something happened, they were in jail, or something like that, then that money would carry on. That's what can be done now. We can help teach our young people about investment clubs in the African or in the Asian community or the Jewish community, where they have to people I worked with for years, they call it susus. And so a susu would be a collection of people, and every 2 weeks they meet or every month they meet, they donate a particular amount of money into the group, into the bowl, per se, it's like a word.
Mhm.
And then that is split upon everyone in the group. If it's every 2 weeks, every month, however they do that. So they're able to gain, they're able to buy homes, they're able to start businesses and do things collectively amongst each other. That's what we can do. Number two, teaching stocks. Matter of fact, I got my grandsons coming over tomorrow.
Mhm.
I have my laptop out. We've been going over, I've been teaching them stocks, buying stocks. I remember back in the middle 90s, I came into a good lump sum of money, and then I put some money in the Microsoft mutual funds,
Yeah.
IBM. It looks pretty good right now. So, we got to teach them that. Definitely have to learn. Nothing over time outperforms the stock market.
Mhm.
Crypto. I do have a Coinbase account. I don't have a lot of crypto, but I do have a Coinbase, and I am in its infancy. And you're right, that is. Three, land. Bill Gates, I think, is the largest landowner. I think someone overtaking him now. I don't know if Sheldon Adelson's wife, but one of them overtaking him now as the largest landowner in the United States. Land, you can never go right land. We lost a lot of home ownership in land after the crash in '08 and problems we had in '09, and we haven't recovered from that. Latino home ownership or land ownership is higher than us right now, and that's a big problem. And so, and then my last one that's really important that we really have to teach our young and maybe some of ourselves is to resist overconsumption, resist spending this money on high Jordans and purses and Louis Vuittons and Gucci's and stuff like that. Invest in those companies instead of buying the product. I never understood. I talked about this in the late 90s. Instead of buying these shoes, just invest in Nike. And if I check my mutual funds now, I know Nike's probably not, but I like Hoka now because Hoka's cracked into that market and stuff like that. So I would like to, matter of fact, I may have to call the broker and see if we're making sure Hoka's brought in there. But instead
Yeah.
Because that's how we're going to increase our wealth. And lastly, life insurance. The reason why, not just only the Homestead Acts or the New Deal, those were big, big things that helped whites get wealth in this country. The new Homestead Acts people and the New Deal were a couple of them that really helped. But life insurance policies. Jewish people were able to regain their wealth after the Holocaust, World War II, because they traced those life insurance policies. The Inside Man, the movie that Spike Lee made with Denzel, was partially based on that. Those life insurance policies. And the German government, Swiss government, paid those policies out. Billions and up into trillions of dollars. We must have life insurance policies. Then therefore, we transfer wealth down the line along with land and everything else. So I know I threw a lot out there, but we gotta start teaching our young that, get them out of that consumption mindset, get them into the investment mind and the ownership mindset, and we'll do much better. There's no good sitting up looking good on the outside, and then on the inside that we're in those last numbers that you just said. So
Yeah.
thank you for taking my call. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, and thank you for all the valuable information you just shared. Especially that, well, all of it was good, but the life insurance piece. I'll be wrapping up my 30th year of pastoring in April of next year, the Lord willing, and entering into the 31st year. But over the 3 decades, one of the things I have seen over and over again, not just with my particular church, but just people in general that I've known, and the number of calls we get. Number one is probably food. Number two is utilities, and number three would be folks needing help with burying their loved ones. We are all going to die at some point. That is for sure. And the younger you are, as Emotep said, that life insurance, the younger you are, and a lot of times when people get into a financial pinch, they'll stop making their premiums and they'll let the life insurance go because it's something that we don't think we need, but you never know what's going to happen. And you certainly want enough money to bury your loved one or whatever you're going to do, because now crematories are now popular where there's no stigma to folks being cremated, and it's cheaper, at least right now, than burying someone and buying a casket and all those kinds of things. But that still costs money too. So a life insurance policy gives you peace of mind, and you can build up value in a life insurance policy where there's cash value. And that's also going to help you for retirement. If you do live to be of old age, then you have a cash value in there. But term policies are good. They're not very expensive, and again, the younger you are, you don't have a lot of health issues. You can get a nice policy on folks in your family. A lot of people don't want to do that, but when the time comes and you need the money to bury your loved one, it's not just good to be able to properly bury them and pay for all the expenses and not have to depend on somebody else for that, but also to have some money left over in that, to have some money left over so that you can invest it or so you can pay your house off or the different things that you might want or need to do. 317-972 3008, 317-972 3008, talking about increasing Black wealth. So good to see those of you who are on with us online, and we appreciate your participation as well. I see my mother's online, Mother Sandra Jackson. Good afternoon to you. All right, y'all. So we're talking about increasing Black wealth. We got to take another commercial break. We'll be back with more after this.
It's Kid and Play. On the podcast, the Funhouse with Big Slay is your VIP pass to a hip hop journey like never before. Join us for a little old school version Go Down with Love. It's a wild conversation with some of
I
the
think.
biggest guests in the game.
And then
We play
go off a little early for a third one, I guess.
We'll be giving you a
Then I usually go off a little early for the third one.
chance of crazy stories.
Tune in on urban1podcast.com or wherever you get your podcast.
It's a party. It's a fun night with Kid and Play.
Hey there, Hoosiers. Are you ready to give your child a head start on their future? Indiana 529 savings plans are a simple way to save for their education. Plus, there are some great tax benefits. The best part? It's not just for college. Indiana 529 can be used for tech schools, trade programs, apprenticeships, and more. Start with just $10 a month at myindiana529.com to help them reach their dreams. Read the disclosure booklet carefully before investing. Sponsored by Indiana 529.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, garnish your pay.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm, and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau.
I don't owe the IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
All right, y'all, we're headed to the top of the hour, and I usually get a hamburger on Saturdays. Just on Saturdays, treat myself. But I think got some leftover turkey leg with some Frank's hot sauce. I may just do that. Anyway, 317-972-3008, 317-972-3008, talking about how to increase Black wealth. Did you know that if you're a first-time homeowner, there are benefits that you can get, and if you have a really good realtor, to buy your first home with investment in mind. You can buy a home, let's say $200,000, somewhere around that neighborhood, and live in it for 3 years or so, and then build up equity, and then sell it and build another home. And you can keep doing. There are people I know who have done that over and over and over again, and they have been able to build up a lot of wealth by building a house or buying a house, living in it for a short period of time, building up equity in it, and then selling it, and then keeping that equity, and then using some of it for a down payment into another home until they build up some wealth. So there's all kinds of ways that you can do that. Going to Ann. Ann, welcome to the program. Hello. Hello. Mhm. 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 Oh, wow. That's wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing. I do appreciate it. And that's wonderful at 102 years old. And we'll be praying for him. Bye bye. 317-972-3008. 317-972-3008. We're going to be talking about this in the weeks to come. We got to work on it, y'all. The Indianapolis Thrive Plan, if it has not been revised, perhaps it has, but at least when I read it, I'll probably look at it again, see if there have been any revisions. But we were last in almost everything: home ownership, just different things like that, household income, just last. And we have to change that. So we know where we are, and we know where we want to go, and there are ways to do that. And there have been different things historically that have prevented us as Black people from being able to do this at scale. Now, there are Black people who are very wealthy in Indianapolis. There are Black people in Indianapolis who are rich. There's a difference. But there has been some barriers. Redlining has been one. So a lot of times folks who wanted to buy homes could not get a loan for different areas because of redlining. Of course, segregation, discriminatory lending practices have prevented Black families from accumulating wealth through home ownership. And home ownership, as we have said, and as Imhotep said, buying land, even if there's no home on it, if you just buy some land and keep it. And of course, as we move forward in time, that probably won't be something that you can buy as much as you can now. There's a lot of property out there, if you look hard enough, that you can buy. Some of these tax sales, unfortunately, sometimes people lose their homes because they didn't pay the tax on it, and it ends up in a tax sale. Sometimes that's the way of being able to buy land too, with a house on it and increase wealth. So that's something that I want to hear from you about. 317-972-3008. 317-972-3008. There are some of you who have inherited money from family, and God bless you for that. Make sure that you have an inheritance for those coming after you. Sometimes people who receive an inheritance will use it all up. And it kind of reminds me of when we used to have Kool-Aid uh, back in the 60s and the 70s, and you didn't get any Kool-Aid because somebody went in there before you and drunk it all up. But we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are, if you get an inheritance, make sure you set something in place so those folks coming behind you will be able to have an inheritance as well. 317-972-3008. I think we've got someone else coming on. Diana, thank you for calling. Welcome to the program. All right. Right. All right. Thank you. Mhm. 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 Mhm.
I took and invested my money in a house. And with that money, the house then was only $1,000. And I fixed it up. And then the return that I got off of the house, was a big return. Like the gentleman said, my escrow, was in it. And plus I had a lot of money, when I sold the house. I took it, flipped it, what they call now. Took and flipped it.
Uh-huh.
Quadruple it, the money that I had put into it. And I bought insurance policies on all of my siblings. Back then, and I'm still paying them some, which only $5 a month that I was paying back then for $50,000 policy.
Mm.
And I did that for all my siblings, and I had borrowed on it. Like Jim said, you can borrow on that, and you don't have to pay it back, or even you can choose to pay it back. If you don't pay it back when the person expires, then they'll take it off on the end. And I was able, like the gentleman said, but God, how did I do this? I'm educated, I'm graduated from high school, I graduated from college, and so many other things that I've done that I have got, certificates and degrees for. But I was able to help my mother when she got out of the hospital. I bought her a house, and the lady that sold me the house only wanted $4,000 for it.
Mm.
So I took and borrowed on my mother's policy to pay for the house. So I had, plenty of money left over, to bury my mom. I educated, all of my siblings except for two because they had passed away. I sent them to, I make sure that they were fed and clothed, because I would borrow on the policy and didn't have to pay it back if I didn't want to, or either continue to make smaller payments. Because I was on one of the policies, like I said, I was only paying $5 a month. Another one, I was paying just $7 a month, and I would get the highest that they would give me. That was required. 50,000 was the highest they went in. I took and educated all of them, sent them all to a trade school. I didn't send them to college. I sent them to trade school so they could have that trade the rest of their life. Like a barber.
Uh-huh.
One of them went to Christian High School and Tech. A mechanic, and all of them. I told them if they graduated, that I would see to it that they got a car, and I would see to it that they got an apartment or a house. And when I did that, they did all graduated, and they all wanted a house because I had lived in a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the house that I was living in, and it was way over $100,000 that I was able to get off of my house. When I sold it, all of them graduated from high school, so I got them all, a car. Because back then cars weren't that high.
Mm-hmm.
All of them car, I got them a house or apartment, and they ended up flipping that. I took that's when Nike started coming out because I'm 80 years old.
Okay.
When Nike started coming out, I invested $100 in Nike, and I quadrupled, my investment.
Mm-hmm.
That I had. I didn't join out. I let it grow. The only way I drew it out if one of the siblings needed something, or if I wanted something repaired. And just like they said, when they passed away, I didn't do elaborate because I'm not elaborate. I didn't buy all this fancy stuff. As long as I had bills, my philosophy was, as long as I got bills, a clock, and a sticker candy bar, and a pencil, I can if I'm going on the highway. And I have helped all of my siblings to be where they are. They're, CEOs at one place, another is a nurse over one of the community hospitals. I have one that is a coronary artery for all the jails, in Marion County and around county. I have one that is a bail bondsman, and he's the youngest bail bondsman in the nation.
Uh-huh.
Ran into a guy that was a bail bondsman because I worked for the sheriff's department, and he was looking for someone to help him of color because his business was going downhill. And I introduced him to my son, and he took off with it. He's an investor also too. So it does pay off to invest your money. I try to tell these young kids to get an insurance policy. It's not but $10 or $15 a month.
Right.
Nowadays, you can keep it for two years and you can borrow on it.
Right. Be your own bank. Yeah.
That a large family, they were all ill and whatnot, and I told the gentleman, if you can't make that payment, I think it was like $58 a month for 2 kids and a husband and a wife. I said, if you can't make the payment, let me know and I'll make it for you, and then you can refund me whenever, $5, $10 here or there, as long as you, and do you know, like, not even 6 months later, the insurance company had contacted me by mail, and they had dropped the policy. They didn't pay on it. And when I contacted the gentleman, and he said, we had to make a decision. I said, but, this is your life. You can borrow on all this. Look how much you will have to invest even in more.
Mhm.
And then when you did get back on the policy, it's going right now through their lawyers to see if he can get back on, because when he got on the first time, they did not hold, the illnesses of his children. Now, the illness has gotten worse. So anyway, he's trying to get it back. But what I'm trying to say is invest your money.
Yes. In these, like you said, in these purses, high-end purses, that your money will come back sooner than you think. All right, Diane, you got to call me back next week. I'm out of time. I'm enjoying you though. You are right on it. Thank you for calling us today. All right. And Diane is a good way, 80 years old, and invested in Nike when they first started out. And we have that opportunity now. There are a lot of businesses that are just starting out that you can invest in. And did you know, if you have your payroll through ADP, that you can download ADP's app? You can have them take a little bit out of your check for 401k. And then eventually, if you need a loan, be your own bank. You can borrow against that and they'll take the payment out of your check if need be. So that's another tool. We have much more to say about that in part 2 on next week. Until next time, from all of us here at Praise AM 1310 95.1 FM, we like you, we love you, and you make us smile. Have a great day.